Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. I am sitting in a 2025 Volkswagen Taos, or is it Taos? Or is it Taos SE Black? When I was getting the keys to this, Chris told me she called us the Taco, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then she explained to me that Taos is taco without the C. So that's what I consider whenever I look at the the Taos now. So the Taos is Volkswagen's compact crossover SUV. And I like to think of the Taos as a little city car, the little engine that could. And it does have some pep to it. It scoots, it skedaddles. But that's not what it's made for. It's made for fuel efficiency and just driving around the city, easy parkability, if that's even a word. But you can parallel park this thing just about anywhere. It's got a nice footprint, it's got space for everybody, and just enough stuff to go, on a little camping trip if you needed to. I don't really know if you would want to take this off-road because it is front-wheel drive, but keep in mind this does have quite a lot to offer. Starting at about $25,000, the Taos offers a lot. It comes in several trims, and don't worry, LJ is going to walk you through the SE Black today. If you guys have any interest in any other Taos, let me know, and maybe I'll film a video for you. Maybe not. If you ask nicely, drop a please. I'll do whatever you ask. So the base trim for the Taos is going to be the S, and then you have the SE Black, which is what this is, and then you have the SEL. So no matter what your budget is, there's going to be a Taos that probably fits exactly what you're looking for. It does have a couple other options, but really the packages are well designed and built to give you the best value, and I honestly think so. And of course, if you did want to go off-road, you could get this with the all-wheel drive, which is about $2,000 more, but that does give you that extra practicality. So for the front-wheel drive model, you're getting about 28 miles per gallon in the city and about 36 miles per gallon on the highway. All-wheel drive is 24 city and about 32 miles per gallon on the highway. Under the hood is a 1.5-liter four-cylinder engine, 174 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, and it's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, so it shifts rather smooth. And the gas tank on this is right around 13 gallons. So you guys do the math and let me know what the expected range is. Right now, this one says it'll get about 340 miles on a tank. When I was trying to figure out which one to film, I like this specific color because it's called cornflower. I don't really know where Volkswagen got the name for that, and I'm not really going to dig into that today. But what I am going to do is give you a walk around tour of the inside, the outside, and let you know how it is to drive the Taos. Or is it Taos? Or is it Taos? It's definitely not that third option. But yeah, stay tuned. Let's talk about the Taos in a little more detail, starting with the outside. Right now it is 86 degrees, so apologize for the sweat. It is just what it is, but I'm here to give you guys some educational content with a little arousal. All right, so here we are on the outside of the 2025 Volkswagen Taos. And one of the first things you're gonna notice, like I said, is this cornflower color. I really like the color blue, and I think this looks great on this car. You can also get this in the white color right there. You guys can see that right there. That's another one of them. I can show you guys that in a little bit. But on the front, one thing I really do like is that Volkswagen went ahead and they added a light bar that goes across this, and it adds a nice little bit of illumination, pop of color, whatever you want to call it, but it makes it look very futuristic, sporty, all of those good things. You've got this aggressive front fascia, and I mean, it looks good. If you guys haven't already figured this out, this has the black package, and the black package adds black things like the black wheels. You're gonna have the black mirror caps, the pillars, the roof, all of those good things. So, I mean, it's a good looking SUV. You get the black door handles, which look really good. It's a nice contrast to the blue. On the back end, you're gonna have that little rear spoiler, nice smoke taillights, and again, it does have this little LED light bar that runs across the back of the Taos. And if you're curious and you come up to one of these and you're wondering if it is all-wheel drive, Volkswagen calls their all-wheel drive 4Motion, so you'd be looking for that 4Motion, and it would be like this. So, Taos 4Motion. And of course, this one, I didn't even see it next to me, but this is what it looks like in black, and this is an SEL, so you're gonna have different wheels on the SEL, but I really like everything about this. And on the SEL, you'll even see on here, it's got the little side marker right there. So it says Taos right there, but overall, it's not too much different, but I really like both of them. So if you're on the market for a smaller crossover or a small SUV, compact crossover, something along those lines, this is definitely a good one to consider. Nothing too aggressive, but they are 18s, so that's at least nice. And of course, you're gonna have space for 4. I'll go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek to the interior. This is what the back looks like. And one thing I love is that you wouldn't expect a panoramic sunroof, moonroof in one of these, but yet here we are. Look at that. So when you're having a night back here with your friends, your partners, whatever, you guys can look up and stargaze or whatever people do in the back seats. On the back end, you don't even have exhaust tips. Can't really see them back there. They're tucked underneath because it's a 1.5 liter engine. It's not really doing a heck of a lot, but I mean, it's skedaddles, like I said. And now with this open, you'll see that you've got a great access to the trunk. This is actually really wide, so it allows you to fit anything that you need in here. You've got a little rear lighting, and then underneath here, and you've got a spare tire, something that you don't see as much every day. Good bit of space. Whoa, look, airplanes. And before I get any further, special thanks to Evans Volkswagen over here in Dayton, Ohio. If you're in the area, be sure to stop in and ask for Zach or Chris and tell them you're interested in a Volkswagen, because without them, I wouldn't be able to film these awesome rides for you guys. But let's get back to this. I adjusted this for me, 5'9", sitting comfortably. And I do this because I want to show you what normal sized people will experience in these crossovers. So even though this is compact, just know that I'm not a compact person. I'm just an average sized person, not compact or small or any of those words. I'm a normal sized man, okay? Plenty of leg room. There's just enough room right here, and I'll grab you guys and show you in a little bit, but plenty of leg room right here. This seat could probably go back a couple more inches and I'd be all right, you know, a little bit more snug. I just wanted to show you guys that there's a lot of room to just hang out and enjoy the panoramic sunroof and just look at it and gaze at the stars, or you could do whatever else you wanted back here. So with these seats, you get a little bit of cloth, a little bit of leatherette. They feel pretty good. You're gonna get a little drop down right here, which is gonna give you a access door in case you've got skis or something to pass through. And if you don't need to pass through, you got cup holders, 2 of them. And whatever this little thing is, I never understand what this little guy is for. Maybe it's for the handle, I don't know. You guys let me know. But then otherwise back here, 1 charge port, you get little rear vents, and then of course you can adjust the airflow a little bit, so there is something nice. You're gonna have a little place for your maps right there. Look how much space I have. That's about 3 inches right there. Another 3 inches. Okay, you guys get the math. Sneak peek 2 up front. Volkswagen makes great interiors. I've never really had any beef or complaints with Volkswagen interiors. So in order to do the remote start, you want to make sure that it's locked. You hit this twice, and it starts up, just like that, right? And then if you want to cancel that remote start, you just hit this twice, and it will turn off. And of course, you've got keyless entry, so you lock, and then you unlock. All right, so here we are in the cockpit. I saw some fighter jets go by, so I just, anyways, nice soft to touch. There's a little bit of other things other than, the black plastics. They try to avoid a lot of that, so instead it's like this matte finish. Shifter feels good. The little buttons feel good, and you'll notice that these are haptic buttons, so you can slide your finger across them to adjust the fan speed, all of that, or you can just touch on them. It takes a little getting used to, but it really is actually a really good system, at least in my opinion. Over here, this is decent. This is shiny, piano black again, and then it blends into this system. So they kind of did it to tie everything together up here, give it some separation around the cabin, but either way, decent. Door controls, window controls, side mirror controls. You got your blind spot monitoring, which you guys can see that little guy right there. You're gonna have your lock on lock, your lighting controls right there for your headlights. Over here, your steering wheel, of course, and if you didn't know that, well, now you do. Got little volume buttons right here, your skip, normal things on the steering wheel. Now let's talk about behind that. This button right here, you hit view, and it'll just change the view to basically this or that. I mean, cool, right? You press this, and that's gonna be your, So if you wanted to turn off your forward collision avoidance, your rear traffic alert, blind spot monitoring, cruise control, any of those things from here, you actually could. When you have this display, you'll see that you've got a right side and a left side. So you can click on this left side, and you can put, let's say on this side, I want my fuel economy right there. Then you go over to the right side, and let's say I want my speed or average speed right there. So you can see if your teenagers are speeding or whatever. Little bit of customization. Nothing too wild, but still. And then you got your heated steering wheel button right there. And then you've got 3 levels to customize your heated steering wheel. I've rarely see a lot of options on this heated steering wheel other than on or off, so hats off to you, Volkswagen, on that. Wiper blade control is going to be back here on the stock. You don't have paddle shifters or anything like that, but you can shift sporty in this if you really wanted to. So there's that. I love that they still have a physical volume knob. I kind of wish this stayed centered. Let's see what we got. Ooh, some Journey. It's a pretty good sound system. So here, you'll see you got Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. This is going to be wired, and then it looks like you can actually do this wirelessly here. Just double checking. If you hit car, this is where you're going to have all your settings for your car. Safety features. This is one of my favorite things that I like about Volkswagen. Highlight everything in blue that you can customize or set the settings for. And if you didn't like that, you could go into settings and do it this boring way. But let's say you're a visual person, right? And you like visuals. You see this little 3 dots or 3 lines, you click on that, and that says front assistance. So it's got your forward collision avoidance, display distance warnings, all of that. And if you don't know, you hit the I, and it tells you about everything there. So this function detects critical distance situations and warns the driver visually, acoustically, and by a jerk of the brakes. If necessary, emergency braking is automatically initiated. Gotta love it, right? Then if you click on this, adaptive cruise control, driving mode normal, comfort, eco, sport, yada yada, all of that. And then you've got one more car right here. What do you think this is for? Let me guess. Blind spot monitoring. Look at that. LJ was right. Blind spot monitoring. Active. You hit the little I. Function uses radar. Oh my God. So you get a slew of safety features. You know, you can't really complain too much about those, and then you can just customize everything from this. So those are really the basics, and I think that's everything you need. I'll show you guys the rear view camera right now. It's enough to make sure you don't hit anything, but it is not going to be something that you film a movie on or anything like that. So then over here, you're going to have your controls for your sunshade, sunroof. Look at that. The clouds are beautiful today. Very beautiful. Get the sunshade all the way open. Look at that. Look at that. And then this is going to be your SOS buttons. Don't touch that. This is kind of interesting because I feel like this is where Volkswagen used to have your sunglasses holders flip down. And then now they've kind of gotten away from those. Most cars these days don't even like having sunglasses holders. You're going to have your glove box. Look at that. Look at that. Give that a close. And there you have it. That's the Taos. And just like that, we've walked through the 2025 Volkswagen Taos SE Black. It feels weird saying that. But anyways, I hope you guys learned something. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Driving experience on this, it is a compact crossover with under 200 horsepower. It feels like that. But if you've driven a Corolla, a Civic, base model type things, they feel very similar to that. So it's very peppy, zippy, but it's not going to be anything that you're going to drive aggressively with. Braking's fine, steering's fine, it handles well. Very few blind spots, if any at all. I mean, it's spacious for what it is, and I really like what Volkswagen has done with the Taos, and I think a lot of you will enjoy this as well. So if you are on the market for something a little smaller, but still very, very practical, consider one of these. If you need a little bit more when it comes to features, I'll probably do an SEL video in the near future if you guys are interested in that. But for now, I think the SE Black is definitely one that fits the budget for a lot of people, and I always like a good value. And so I find them. This is one of them.